Hi friends, my name is Tiffany Lange and I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and today we're going to be learning about a quilting block pattern with rubbings.
Smart Art Bites!
Hi, welcome to Smart Art Bites. I'm your host, Jana. Do you have a quilt in your house? Quilts are layered designs made from sewing different fabrics together. Here's a quilt that my grandma made for me when I was little. Today we're going to learn how to make quilting block rubbing collages with St. Paul visual artist Tiffany Lange. When I was a kid, I loved doing rubbings with leaves. Maybe you've tried that too. Let's go over to Tiffany and see how it works.
Hi friends, my name is Tiffany Lange and I'm coming to you live from St. Paul, Minnesota in my studio today.
I am a visual artist. I love working with bright colors like neons and pink, and I create abstract work. Here are some pieces that I'm working on right now. Today, we are going to make a quilting block collage with rubbings. Check out these examples.
What is a quilt, you might ask? Well, let's take a look.
A quilt is a blanket with a geometric pattern and includes a lot of texture and color from different fabrics. Back in the day, they made quilts to keep people warm. But over time, they became more elaborate. In the Midwest, you might see a quilt on a barn, at a craft show, or possibly on your couch at home. Here's what you need: 4 square pieces of paper, crayons, a glue stick, a pair of scissors, and a pencil.
Now it's time to make a rubbing.
To prep your crayon, slowly and carefully peel off the label. Set your paper on a surface with texture and lay the crayon flat on the surface and rub. You will start to see the pattern appear. Let's take a look. Different ideas for textures include a bunch of pennies on a surface, red tabs, packing materials, or even puzzle pieces. Here's another texture I created by taping some paper scraps down to the surface. As you're finding different textures throughout your home, try to fill up 4 sheets of paper. Now let's assemble. Leave one of your square paper rubbings as the background. Some of you may need adult help with this part. Cut out shapes like squares and triangles from 3 of your pieces of paper with rubbings, and carefully arrange on your surface. Once you found your composition, glue your pieces to the surface. Yay! You did it! Now let's take a dance break. There is no right way to make your quilting block. All of my examples are very different from each other. Just enjoy the process and have fun.
This has been so much fun. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and back to you, Jana.
Thanks, Tiffany. That was super cool. I can't wait to get started on some quilting block collages of my own. I bet they have some great books on that at the Portage Lake District Library. Maybe on paper crafts, quilting, and other cool things. Over to you, Michael.
Thanks, Jana. Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm at the library. We have some books today for you on quilting, the All-Together quilt, and one of my favorites, Magic Trash, which is about making art out of recycled paper stuff. Stop by the library and ask us if we can find you any more books on this subject, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Smart Art Bites.